In this video, I'm going to show you two different ways to clone your own voice using AI. The first method is completely free, unlimited, and it runs locally on your computer, so you can generate as much audio as you want. The second one isn't 100% free, but it's very cheap with no monthly subscriptions. You only pay for what you use, and it can be as low as 4 cents per 1,000 characters. I will walk you through each option with real examples, compare the results against ElevenLabs, which is currently the industry leader when it comes to AI voice cloning, and at the end, I'll give you my honest opinion on which one actually makes sense depending on what you're trying to do. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. First, let's download Pinokio. Pinokio is a platform that lets you run different web apps, including AI tools, locally on your computer without dealing with complicated installation. I'll leave a link in the description below. Once you are on the home page, click download, then choose the version for your operating system. I'm on Windows today, so I'll download for Windows. After downloading it, just double click the file to start the installation. Once everything finished and we open Pinokio for the first time, you will see the version number, the folder where the file will be installed, and the theme selector. I prefer dark mode, but choose whatever you like. Click save, restart the app, and you will land on Pinokio's dashboard. At this point, your dashboard will be empty. That's completely normal. Now it's time to install the voice cloning model we will be using today. Click Discover on the top right corner, and you will see a large list of models you can download and run locally. The one we are using today is called E2 F5 TTS. Once you find it, just click on it, then choose one-click install. A list of required dependencies will appear. Just click install, and the program will download everything automatically. Just keep in mind that this will take a bit of time. On my machine, for example, it took around 15 minutes. Once the install starts, just let it run. At some point, it will ask you to install Visual Studio. Just confirm and make sure you don't close the app. When it's done, it will likely take you straight to the interface, but if not, just open Pinokio and just click on the model to open. It should take a few seconds to load, and here we go. Let's quickly go over the interface so it doesn't feel overwhelming. At the top, make sure the model select is the F5 TTS V1. It's usually pre-selected as default. Below that, you will see a few models: Basic TTS, Multi-Speaker, and Voice Chat. After testing all of them, I recommend sticking with the Basic TTS. Multi-Speaker can work, but the quality is usually better when you generate voices one at a time. So let's focus on the Basic TTS. Now, the important part, the reference audio. This is where you upload the voice you want to clone. In most cases, that's going to be your voice. Now, we have two options here. Option 1, which I recommend, is recording yourself on your phone. The model only needs around 12 seconds of audio, which surprised me at first, but after testing with longer clips, I didn't notice a big difference in quality. Just make sure you record in a quiet room with no background noise. The cleaner the audio, the better the result. Option 2 is using the microphone button inside the interface. Just click on it, select your microphone, and click record. Again, about 12 seconds is more than enough. I will start by using Morgan Freeman's voice as a sample, and then I will try with Elon Musk. Here's my first audio reference. Let me play real quick.
It does not speak in memorable lines. My inner voice always gives it to me straight.
Now it's time to type the text you want the voice to say. A few things to keep in mind here. Keep your sentences clear and natural. Make good use of commas, question marks, and exclamations. The AI use this to understand tone, context, and speak more naturally. Another thing here is don't try to generate very long speeches in one go. Remember, this is free, so you can break it down longer scripts in parts and then combine them using any editor. Now, just before we generate our first speech, let's scroll down and quickly look at advanced settings. First, we can add the reference text. This is basically the transcript of the reference audio you are using. If you don't provide it, the model will try to generate the transcript on its own. I recommend adding it manually because it gives you more control, especially over punctuations, which helps the model understand tone and produce more natural results. Then we have the seed. If you generate a voice you like, make sure to save the seed number. This lets you reproduce the same tone again and again. Once you're happy with your clone voice, turn off random seeds and reuse that same number for future generations. If the generated voice has too many pauses, just enable remove silence. This makes the speech sounds more natural and dynamic. And finally, adjust the speed slider slightly if needed. If the voice is too fast or too slow, small adjustments here we will usually fix. I recommend starting from the default and tweak gradually. I like mine at 0.9. Everything else can stay as it is. The key here is to test slowly. Sometimes the AI nails on the first try, sometimes it needs another pass. That's completely normal. Once everything is set, click synthesize. Now, this can take quite some time depending on your hardware, but I will talk about this in a bit. Let's hear the final result first.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions and loyal servant to the true Emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
The quality is actually okay for a completely free tool, and I think it's good enough for most use cases. You can now download this audio and use it on your next video, your next podcast, or anywhere else you need. I just want to quickly show you again the seed number. When you are happy with your clone voice, make sure to save this number right here. Then you can reuse it for future generations to get the same tone and style again and again. Just uncheck random seed, paste the seed number here, and you're good to go. Here's another example I generated earlier using Elon's voice.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions and loyal servant to the true Emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
Before we move to the next method, let me quickly break down the pros and the cons of this first method. The pros are pretty clear. It's free, unlimited, and everything runs locally on your computer. So your voice isn't being uploaded to some website. You are in control of your files and your privacy. The big downside is that it depends completely on your hardware. If you have a decent computer or have access to a graphic card, a GPU, this is honestly a no-brainer. It will be fast enough, free, and unlimited. If your computer is older, you might still get it working, but it's just going to be slow, sometimes painfully slow. And I'm not exaggerating here. Depending on your machine and the length of the script, a single generation can take hours. So here's what I recommend. If you got a decent computer, I'll say go for it. If your computer is average and you're okay with waiting a little bit, I would say give it a go and see how it feels. And if your computer is old and slow, I wouldn't recommend. The second method is going to be a much better fit for you. The second method is using a platform called fal.ai. Think of it as a marketplace for AI models. Instead of paying monthly subscriptions, you add credits and only pay for what you actually use. Inside fal.ai, you can access models for text-to-speech, image generation, and even video generation, all in one place. I use it all the time. To get started, sign up for a free account. Once you're in, click the plus icon on the top right corner here to add credits. Choose the amount you want to add, complete the purchase, and your credits will appear instantly. Then click on explore. Then we search for voice cloning. And as you can see here, we got a few models to choose from. I tested them all, and the two I recommend the most are ChatterboxHD and MiniMax voice cloning. Let's start with the ChatterboxHD. Pricing here is 4 cents per 1000 character, which is not bad. Just keep in mind, this is character based, not word based, and it's built in blocks. So even for a short request of say 500 characters, it still counts as 1000 characters. To use it, here you enter the text you want to convert to speech. Then, instead of choosing a voice, we upload a reference audio file, just like we did with Pinokio. I will use Morgan Freeman's voice again. But if you are using your own voice, remember, you only need 12 to 15 seconds. As for the settings below, exaggeration controls the motion intensity, while CFG controls how closely the generated voice follows your text. Higher values stick closer to the script, but can sound a bit rigid. Lower values allows for more variations, but if you go too low, the model can drift away from what you ask for. I've found that the default values works really well, so I usually leave them as they are. Then we click on run and we wait. And here's the final result.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions and loyal servant to the true Emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
And here's another example I generated earlier using Elon's voice.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
Look, I honestly don't think it's identical, but it's a pretty solid output. Now, let's try MiniMax voice cloning, which is my personal favorite. This one costs $1 per audio generated. To be honest, I couldn't find any official documentation confirming the character limit here. What I found was that MiniMax text-to-speech model, not the voice cloning we are using right now, has a 5,000 character limit, so I guess the limitation will be similar here. I have used it before to create a 4-minute audio file, and it cost me exactly $1. Using is very simple. Here we upload the reference audio, then we click for additional settings, and you will see options like noise reduction and volume normalization. I personally leave this off. As for accuracy, I found that leaving it as 0 gives us the best result. The text goes here, then we need to choose the model, which should be the Speech 02 HD. Now we click run, and here's the final result.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
I honestly think this sounds really good. If we want to see all previous generations, we click on the request tab, and here's another example I generated earlier using Elon's voice.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
The biggest advantage here is speed. Generations are fast, the quality is good, and you don't need a powerful computer. Everything runs in the cloud, so results are consistent and reliable. The downside is the cost. While it's cheap, it's not free. You are paying around 4 cents per 1,000 characters with ChatterboxHD, or $1 per generated audio with MiniMax. And because this is a cloud-based service, your voice is being uploaded to an external service, which may or may not matter to you, depending on how important privacy is for your case. So if you want fast results and good quality without worrying about hardware, this is a great option. If you want everything completely local and free, method 1 is still the winner, as long as your computer can handle it. Now, I thought it would be interesting to compare the results side by side against ElevenLabs, which is still considered the benchmark for AI voice cloning right now. This way, we can actually hear how good each method really is. On screen, from left to right, number 1 is Pinokio, running on E2 F5 TTS model locally. Number 2 is ChatterboxHD on fal.ai. Number 3 is MiniMax voice cloning, also on fal.ai. And number 4 is ElevenLabs. Let's listen and compare the results. Let's start with Pinokio.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
Now let's go to ChatterboxHD.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
MiniMax voice cloning.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
And finally, number 4, ElevenLabs.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
Alright, so here's my opinion. I still think ElevenLabs is better than all the others. And no, this video is not being sponsored by ElevenLabs. But I do think that both methods I showed you today generated good quality audio, which depending on the use case, it's good enough. Personally, I don't pay monthly subscription for voice cloning, as I don't have much use for it. So whenever I need it, I generate it locally on my computer, or I use fal.ai if I want quick results. Just keep in mind that I do have a 1660 NVIDIA GPU on my machine, which is not super powerful, but it definitely makes a difference. And that's it. You now have a few solid options in your toolbox when it comes to voice cloning. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see how I use Google Gemini to create websites and publish them completely free, watch this video right here next, where I'll walk you through the entire process step by step. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.